Hello everybody, my name's Steve, I'm the British Railroader and welcome to my model railway/railroad room for another update on my 009 build. So last time we left it with the fact that the track had been laid and I was able to do a little bit of testing, but because of my having to use electrofrog points, there were a lot of electrical sections that needed wiring up. Now, obviously, this layout is DCC. I've got my Next 18 decoder over there. And what it's meant is running a power bus and then having droppers coming from the track so that everything is connected and everything is powered. I've done that. I've also fitted all of the point motors. Now, last time I mentioned the fact that even though I've got 5 points, I only had 4 point motors. And my good friend Jim Barrett got in touch with me and said that he had a spare one that I could have. So he sent that over to me, and I will be sending him the money for that very shortly. So thanks, Jim. That's got me all sorted. I now have all 5 point motors working, and we'll have a look at that over on the layout in a moment. Just a word on the point motors. I've used IP digital switch machines. These are servo style motors. So instead of the solenoid ones that you hear snapping, which are like the Pico point motors, Hornby make them, Gauge Master make them, Rails of Sheffield make them. These are the, as I said, servo ones, so you get the slow movement. Now, I've used a few of these on Brooklyn Park, which is in front of me up here, and they work really, really well in HO scale and obviously therefore 00 scale. Using them on the 009, I think with the benefit of hindsight, I probably wouldn't have done it, just simply because they have quite a large throw on them. And of course, the points being basically N-gauge points don't have that much throw. So it's actually taken a little bit of fettling for me to get these to work correctly. Not as much, strangely enough, as a solenoid. Solenoids, you have to get them dead in the right place. Otherwise, they can be real pains. But it has taken a little bit more than I had hoped. But they all work. They work well. Obviously, with the IP digital switch machines, there is that wiring for the frog. As I pointed out to you, that I've wired all of the frogs just for better electrical continuity, and the IP digital switch machines will switch them over. So they've all been wired in the same way. They're actually all orientated the same way. So when you look at the layout, the front of the switch machine is here, and that's the same whether it's here or around that side. They're all following the same route. And also they're wired the same way. So the red wire goes into one into the same socket, as it were, on all of the point motors, and the black wire goes into the other. That just means that we've got complete continuity. When you use these on DCC, and I'll show you in a minute, you either set it to position 1 or position 2. And for me, position 1 is the points going out that way. So if they're at the front, that's coming towards you, the point blade is coming towards you, and then position 2 is going inwards, so that I can always remember which way round they are. So everything is working exactly the same. The locos run really nicely. The Baldwin, which is just here behind, if I just move my Bagley jewelry, so the Baldwin here, which is kind of like my main steam loco, really only just goes round the curves on this. So normally minimum radius curves in 009, certainly from what Pico make, are about 9-inch radius. My curves are around somewhere between 6 to 7.5 inches, depending. Now the 040 Drury shunter, no problems at all. This thing, even though it's a 460, the way that it's set up with the front pony truck is that the 2 axles actually don't both swivel, only the front one swivels. Now, it's a very clever way of doing it, because otherwise there wouldn't be enough room between the cylinders for it to get any kind of movement. But it does mean that it doesn't like tight curves as much. But it runs fine. I wouldn't put it going on anything any tighter. And also, conversely, any locos bigger than that, and I do know that Hellion make a Baldwin, and I've been looking at it. There are some still out there, and it does look very much like one of the locos they had on the original Barbados Railway, but I wouldn't dare put it around here because that's got an even longer wheelbase. So it's just a matter of knowing what you can and what you can't use on the layout. I've also been painting. There's a tiny little me here. I will put a blown up photograph of it. So this is the figure that I had done by Model U, and I've done him in more summery clothing, including a very loud Hawaiian shirt. When I posted a picture of this on our little group chat that we've got, Tom Marshall from Buggles Kelly Station asked if I was a fan of Timmy Mallet, and if you're of a certain age from Britain, you'll know exactly what he means. But I've got me ready for the layout. I'm working on Sam Beecher Jones, aka Emperor's Path, since he's going to own a chicken shop somewhere on the layout when I get around to building all of these things. So I think the best thing to do is just take you up here and show you the layout. Okay, here we are at the layout. So as you can see, all of the track is laid, and I'm just going to demonstrate down here with the point motors. Let's just bring us in. So if you look down here, I'm just going to change this. And I think you can see, just whilst I do this, that the throw is very, very short on these points. And there's a lot of movement going on with the motors. So it does make things just that little bit more difficult. Okay, let's just pull out a little bit. And I think let's run a train just so that you can see one running around. I've just got to change one set of the points. There we go. And then we can run our little diesel. It's really weird getting used to running trains that don't have sound. I could, if I really wanted to, I could fit sound to all of these. It has been done. I've seen videos about it. Now, we've got a pile of foam in the middle. This is just to get a sense of the kind of height that I'm going to need as a bit of a scenic break, probably a little bit higher than that. As we come round, we've got this chattel house at the front. This is just something that we picked up last time we were in Barbados. And when you get a scale ruler out like this, the footprint of it is about what the footprint is of a real chattel house in 00 scale. This model is a little bit taller than it should be. Now, being able to see what the footprint is, I'm thinking that I may just need to make it a little bit smaller. It is something that, and I'm going to have to do with a lot of the buildings, is compress them to fit them in this scene in a way that I want. Now, if we just come back over here, we have the harbour, and I've got the boat here, which I'm still working on. I've just temporarily, just using a little bit of Copydex glue, just put in the harbour walling, just so that I can get a feel for what it looks like. And I've adjusted this bridge. This bridge originally came over to here, but I felt that just wasn't right, so I've moved it back. I'm going to put planking on here so that it feels more like a wooden bridge than just, something that's part of land and whatever. And what I may do is put the second set of railings over here, and so the road comes past. Now, we have got an Essex police car here, just to give a bit of scale for the vehicles. It won't be staying on the layout. Down here is Mini Me. So this is a 00 scale version of me. I'm wearing a very loud shirt, as I said, little overtones of Timmy Mallet there. but it was needed. I needed to be on there. Okay, so as we come round, down here we've got the dummy point levers from Pico, and what I've done with them, or I've done with this one, and I will do with all of them, is that I've made it pivot so that manually I can change it if I want to. It would be lovely to find a way to do it automatically as the points throw, but that would be quite, I think, quite a challenge. So there we go. There's the diesel coming in. Let's slow her down. And I'm going to change some points. So that we can then let the Baldwin go. And I've nicknamed this train the Bridgetown Flyer, just because, who knows. As you can see, it's a lovely smooth running engine. It has got a little keep alive in there that I've put in. And she's very quiet, but you can hear track noise. And you can kind of feel that, yeah, these curves are about as tight as she will happily take. It causes, and it's something that I pick up on, and maybe not a lot of people do, but it does cause little bits of stuttering here and there just on those tight curves. But she seems to be able to cope with everything, and she runs around the layout quite well, as you can see. Doesn't like that curve there is particularly tight. It will be interesting to see if the Kerr Stewart from Rapido, when it comes, can handle it, because that's an 040. I think it will probably do better on here than the Baldwin does, but that's just by the by. So there we go. That is where I am with the layout. Things that I'm moving on to will be track weathering, and then getting the scenery, and also starting to work on the building. So I'm going to scratch build a couple of chattel houses. Every chattel house is different, but this gives you an idea of it. I've got the station to build. I've got hills to put in, as we've done over here, to, start building up layers of foam. I would like a road that will go round paralleling the railway, and it will probably be just a wide single track road as opposed to anything bigger. And again, over here, this little spur will have the distillery buildings just here. Again, very old looking distillery, but that should be quite fun. And of course, down here we've got the pier head. Can't think of the words, the docks. And we can bring trains up here and store trains down here. There we go. Okay, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. It's starting to take shape now. I think my next job is going to be painting the track, doing that kind of work before I then start on the scenery. And I want to get some scenery in before I do things like ballasting and whatever. As you've seen on the layout, there's a couple of bits that I've just put in position for now, just so that I can work out where everything is meant to go. But it is slowly getting there. So, it is taking shape. But that's it from this video. If you've enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done already, please consider subscribing to the channel. It's absolutely free, and it will help boost my presence on YouTube. If you have any comments or questions, you can either post them below, or you can send them to the email address that's at the bottom of the screen. Now, I'm also available on all of these social media sites. I've whittled it down really to Facebook and Instagram. I know that I was on the Model Railway group, but I just find that I don't go on there that often. So Facebook and Instagram are probably the best places to find me. So go and find me there, say hello, and you can also message me through those as well. Now, in a moment, YouTube is going to suggest a video just where this big arrow is pointing. You see, I can't get it wrong this time. If you haven't seen it before, go ahead and take a look. If you have seen it, then go over to the channel, take a look. There's plenty of videos there, and I'm sure you'll find something that you will enjoy. But that's it from me. My name's Steve. I'm the British Railroader, and I am saying goodbye from my model railroad room. Bye-bye.